right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League for day number one of the playoffs. We got all the best of seven action you could ever ask for here, as it is a win or go home. Win, and you move on to the semis. I'm Rocker Man, back in the booth, joined by the one and only Ventus. Ventus, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing so great. I cannot wait for this matchup specifically. I mean, I've been watching these teams all the time when I've casted them and just overall in the stream. But these teams look so good. I mean, it's gonna be the closest matchup, at least seeding wise, in the rivalry. You got the 4 seed versus the 5 seed taking on each other. So I think it's gonna be a very, very close series.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good one here. Blackhawks taking on Warhawks. The Battle of the Hawks here tonight, and both these teams are very even here. I do want to quickly bring up the playoff bracket here, so if we could take a peek at that one here. And Ventus, obviously, we had some great play-in matches. These two teams had their pass straight into the playoffs. What are you noticing about this bracket so far?
I mean, the obvious is going to be who's going to be taking on Origin, that number 1 seed. I mean, Origin versus Gladiators, that one's going to be a little interesting. I know Gladiators swept Origin in the regular season, at least when I was casting them. So maybe they got Origin's number. I'm not saying they do. I know you're on Origin, but I think that just really whoever is going to take on the Origin roster there. I mean, both these teams have to show out really well to make me have faith that they're going to be able to topple that number 1 seed. But I mean, on the other side, obviously we see. I'm really looking at the Rooks. I mean, they were on like a 12-0 tear. They were able to win their first match in the play-in tournament. Keeping that momentum. Riding that train. They're taking on Velocity, but overall, I think that it's going to be a really cool seed to watch. Just how the Rooks end up doing, especially against Velocity.
Yeah, definitely. So it's gonna be an interesting one, no doubt here. As yeah, I'm excited to see how things go. Yeah, I think we might have lost the lost lost our server there for a second, but yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one, Ventus. In this one, I mean, these two teams, Blackhawks, they made some moves as well. I think Juice was their biggest pickup there throughout the season, and then Warhawks, they were also making some last minute moves there at the trade deadline, and then at the hard roster lock to get the rosters we have tonight.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's really tough for the Warhawks losing Lucky, who was moved up to the Challenger League. Pretty sure he's been doing pretty good over there, anyways. So I mean, maybe he's not losing out on too much. But yeah, it's definitely filling a big hole in that roster. Lucky was the number 1 player rated in all of Prospect with a 1.91 player rating. And so when you have a player like that, you need your players to pick up that slack. You need to really have those big step up games. And obviously, Parker is going to be one of those players to do it. But I'm also looking at Days to really step up. He's going to be a big reason behind this team doing well.
Yeah, no, he is going to be a key. He was picked up right before the hard roster lock to fit in here with Parker, who's obviously the big player to watch out for, and then Dre, also a late season pickup. And it looks like we got everybody loaded in here, Ventus. The teams are locked and loaded. I got to give one more shout out to Dr. Shadow, gifting 5 subs before we get it going. Much love to Dr. Shadow. But Ventus, I got to know from you, who is taking this matchup? Who's going to win the first playoff match of the season in this best of seven action?
Man, I mean, I gotta give it to the Blackhawks. I think that they have shown time and time again throughout the season they've been able to keep up with all the top teams in the Prospect League and really shown their stuff. I think it'll be a really close match. I'm expecting a lot of overtimes, but I think they're gonna take it in 6. I think they're gonna win 4-2.
Alrighty, well, we are going to have to see as the playoffs are officially underway for season number 12. We got the Blackhawks in the white tonight with Kosh, a Juice Lo-Fi, and Perky, and then the Warhawks in the red there with Days, Parker, and Dre. And we mentioned a couple of people here to watch out for. Ventus. I for one am keeping my eyes solely glued on Parker. I think that if the Warhawks want to win, they need Parker to pop off.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that Parker is the player to look at is on that Warhawks team. I think that he just shows and brings so much to the table. He's the number 3 rated player, shoots an insane amount, 3.37 shots per game. He's going to bring that pressure. But I'm also looking for Juice Lo-Fi on the Blackhawks. He's that player that really melds this team together, creates those passing options, and is that rock of a player that allows the Blackhawks to just play their super mechanical, super fast gameplay and Perky and Kosh. So I'm looking at Juice Lo-Fi on the Blackhawks to really have a good game as well.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna need him here if they're gonna want to win and advance here. As we are in a game number 1, starting off scoreless thus far. As Kosh looking to send this one out, Parker is there, going to send it off the sidewall. This ball popping up high in the midfield. Opportunity for the Warhawks, but Dre not quite ready for that one. It's again popped up in the midfield. Here comes Parker looking for the shot there. Going to send it into the back of the net there, and Parker, he starts out the scoring.
Yeah, I mean, a great shot coming out from him. A good pass by Dre, getting it over Perky and Juice Lo-Fi, and Kosh just not having enough boost to get across that net. Good shot, good speed, and good placement by Parker. And the Warhawks open up the scoring. That's really bad for the Blackhawks. The Warhawks obviously going to be able to build so much off of that momentum. Usually the first goal of the series leads to the first game of the series win as well. So with that, Warhawks get a good sizable momentum boost.
Yeah, definitely so. And this is the first playoff action or any postseason action that these two teams have seen this season. So there's got to be a little bit of nerves coming out here, and you got to try to shut those down here in game number 1. And the Warhawks happy to find that first one. Is that shot attempt going to come through from Kosh, but Dre blocks that one off to the side. Juice sending this one up. Dre trying to help his team out here. Going to fit that one off the backboard. It's still floating in the midfield. Dre, no boost to work with. Just going to try to find the 50 days coming through. Look, this one going to find a 50 of his own there, but not quite on target, as this one is going to be sent back down. Opportunity there for the Blackhawks, but not quite going to find it on net, as this one is sent up in midfield. Kosh looking to take it out there. Parker going to stop this one, dropping down. Bumps come through in the midfield. Juice trying to get to it. Not a lot of boost, but finds a good 50. Kosh looking to take control, trying to find Perky there, but he's going to be denied away. And right now, Ventus, the Warhawks are really kind of diving in that midfield and not allowing the Blackhawks to get any sort of pressure.
Yeah, and it's gotten to a lot with the steals of the big boost, the mid boost and the corner boost from the Blackhawks half. We saw a lot of the times there, Blackhawks really low on boost, very tough position where they aren't able to catch up to the speed of the ball or the speed of the play, especially when Warhawks can just pick up the ball in the midfield and just play this possession game with a great touch there by Dre. And that really threatens the Blackhawks defense, where they have to continue to use all of the small amounts of boost that they are able to collect. And it just works out much better in the Warhawks' favor, where they're just able to create so much pressure. But it looks like the Blackhawks have finally been able to break out of their half. They have looked good as well. I think Kosh has done really well in this game, and a great pass, but Perky just not able to put that one on target. But I think the Blackhawks are poised to make a recovery and able to score a goal soon.
Yeah, they almost had one there. That was a great passing attempt there, but just going to ring off the post. And now the Warhawks back in the Blackhawks, and Parker just taking a pot shot at net, forcing two players to jump up for it. Dre trying to find something, but can't quite put it on target. Is now Perky taking it down the field. Kosh is up for it, shooting this one towards the net. Parker has to make the touch. He does. Gonna need some help though as Perky's diving in, but not gonna find that one on target as we're down to the final 60 seconds here of game number 1. This one's sent back down. Dre gets up to it, able to send it off to the side here. Kosh over the top here. Parker gonna clear it out. Blackhawks desperately looking for one goal to try to send this one to OT. This one off the backboard. Days gonna find that touch, able to send it down. A long clear, gonna open up some space there, waste up some valuable seconds here. As just Parker back now, but Perky's gonna give that one away. Parker gonna have to make that touch. He pops it up high. Here comes Juice for the shot. He's gonna put it in, capitalizing on the mistake.
Yeah, that's a good read there. Accepting that Parker's in a tough position, waiting in the midfield, and Kosh leaving the ball for Juice Lo-Fi, able to get a good shot on target. A lot of power on that one. And finally, with all of the pressure that the Blackhawks had against the Warhawks, they're able to put one home and break that stalemate that they were fighting in the midfield for.
Yeah, and that one, a great shot there from Juice. As this one's dropping down, could be dangerous, going to be saved away by the Blackhawks defense as Perky sends this one down. He's going to find a big 50. That one just off target, though, as Dre going to take control of this ball, dropping down Parker. He's going to get it by one there. It's just Kosh back. Kosh going to have to make a good touch. Not the best, though. This one coming back around. Perky going to find a block. This one into the corner. Warhawks gonna not be able to get to that one, and we are gonna have overtime, Ventus. Maybe like you predicted here, a lot of overtimes as the first game one. Going to OTs days, gonna try to start things off on the offensive end.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better game one. Both these teams fighting tooth and nail. Obviously, Blackhawks were just able to capitalize off that mistake and that mistouch from Parker. But other than that, Parker has looked very good on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. As he might get a shot attempt here. He's going to look for a pass. Not going to be able to get it one, but Dre, a potential touch. Kosh having an open net, though. Parker not able to get back in time. It looked like that was a bit of an own goal. And Kosh going to find the back of the net. Blackhawks take game number one.
Yeah, and Parker, he's trying to race back to this one, and he was just taking a little bit too sharp of an angle, it looked like, and he's going to throw it in the back of his own net there. And a tough game one for Parker there as that one ends. It was a tough to get back to that one, but still sends it in the back of his own net. And the Blackhawks here, Ventus, are going to fly through and sneak out that game one victory.
Yeah, but I mean, the tale is the Blackhawks had all of the pressure. They had 11 shots to Warhawks 4. They were able to generate so much pressure, force them on the defensive half for a lot of that game. We saw Warhawks had a lot of that pressure at the very beginning, but they weren't able to sustain it. They kind of fell through. They weren't able to hold the boost in the midfield and control the game as much, and it really forced these tough situations where Parker, he had a couple of chances where he made some good saves, but in the end it just wasn't enough. He wasn't able to get those very crucial saves in the correct moments, and I mean, that's just what it came down to, not having the resources to make the play and the constant aggression that the Blackhawks were able to create.
Yeah, no, they definitely had a lot of pressure. Like you mentioned, the 11 shots there, big in that game number one, and to battle back from that first goal. The Warhawks just couldn't hold on with all the pressure. And now Ventus heading into game number two. The Warhawks are going to have to try to find their way back on the offensive end. And I think it's going to try to start out right here as Days is going to fire it in. And, well, that is how you start the offensive scoring 4 seconds into game two.
Yeah, it looks like a kickoff strat there. Days kind of missed that mid boost, but the kickoff went exactly as the Warhawks planned. They were able to get a great shot on net, and Days a good angle, good follow up, and I mean that's a great response. They were able to overcome that mistakes from game number one, and they're able to come out swinging. And a lot of the times that first goal is a real game changer for teams, as it's going to allow them to create more momentum as Days trying to get another shot, forcing Perky to make another save. And it's looking like the Warhawks have shaken off game one completely. They've completely forgotten about it, and they're just looking to move on to game number two.
Yeah, and got to remember, this is a long series here. Best of 7, very different from all the best of 5s that these teams have played in the regular season. So it's an endurance game, Ventus. You got to be prepared. You know the other team is going to throw you some punches, and you just got to be able to find your way to respond here. As the Warhawks definitely responded early in this game number 2, and they're on the attack here, dropping this one up. A little bit of a double commit though comes through. This one sent back to Dre. Gonna have to make this touch, trying to hold it to the corner there. Gonna get it by 1, looking to find a second. Gonna get it past him, but Juice is waiting there. Parker now on the wall, looking to send it back down. As Kosh out in the midfield trying to drop that one. Days gonna find that touch. Parker trying to jump up there, can't quite find that one. Dre is coming through. Juice can't connect there. Dre off the backboard, but Kosh just there in time to get that ball cleared away and off to the side. Days again sending it back down, but Perky gonna touch that one into the corner as Juice taking control, gonna get it over the top of Parker. They're gonna get it by a second. Perky on this ball, not a lot of boost though. This one gonna be 50 down, and it's looking pretty similar, Ventus, to this game number 1. A quick early goal from the Warhawks, and then both teams trying to find something in the middle game.
Yeah, and they're doing a lot of fighting over the midfield. They haven't necessarily taken the best control. Perky has a good chance there, but neither team has really solidified any control in the midfield. It's been a lot of forcing the possession off of each team and recovering in their third just to make a good save or potentially one shot or one save, where they haven't had these long sustained amounts of offense or defense, and it hasn't led to any cracks in the armor. Now it'll be really interesting to see if a team is going to be able to take advantage of some overcommits that might happen, but it looks like a fake from Juice Lo-Fi is going to leave the net a little bit open for a shot from Perky. It looks like Parker expecting a shot to come out from Juice Lo-Fi, and Juice Lo-Fi just, faking it. He's just going to leave it. Parker not able to read that one.
Yeah, and that one, a good call there by Juice just to let that one go, knowing it was on target, knowing Parker was the only one on the backboard and making it awkward. A great idea from the Blackhawks there. Able to convert as a nice little drop down pass comes through. Dre trying to race back to it. Gonna find another 50. This one up to Kosh. He's sending it towards net. Days gotta get it back just in time. Would have put a big save away. This one sent down. Dre has a counterattack opportunity. Days trying to get to it, but it's gonna go off the post. That one a close opportunity, but not gonna find its way through. As now the Blackhawks gonna dribble it by one. The net kind of open, sending it down. It's just Parker back. He's gonna make a nice save. Able to push that 2v1 away. It's Perky now trying to get to this one. It's just Juice back. He's trying to pick up some boost. He's gonna find it. Dre taking this one down, looking for the bumps there. Gonna try to get that one through, but a great defense from Juice right there, Ventus, to fight off the 1v3.
Yeah, and I mean, it was great understanding of the play that was happening in front of him. He understood that the speed of the ball wasn't going very fast, but it looks like an own goal might have just occurred. Juice Lo-Fi, as I'm saying his praises, makes a very unfortunate touch there in the midfield to put that one in his own net.
Yeah, that one a little bit awkward there. Day is going to get credit, but we've seen the two players we talked about, Ventus, the star players, have own goals in back-to-back games of the playoffs, and that is tough. There is a big miss. Oh, Parker has to get that touch off. He's able to just in time. That one almost another one in the back of the net, but I think there's some nerves, maybe playing a little bit too fast on both occasions here on both sides, Ventus.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams really trying to just put it all out there. The pressure is definitely getting to both of them, especially when there's these long fights and bouts in the midfield. We see a lot of mistakes come out just after the stalemate is broken, whether that's for the Warhawks or the Blackhawks side. As this one might be on target as well. Kosh having to get back, but it leads a follow-up to Parker, and he's going to put that one in the back of the net, and the Warhawks have a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, great ball out there. And Kosh just can't quite get the second touch. Juice not there in time. Parker is going to find that one around the defense. A 3-1 lead here for the Warhawks. And they're really doing well so far, Ventus, to find those counterattacks and find that pressure.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it has just been able to break through that midfield and then convert those chances very quickly. We've seen the Blackhawks do this, but they haven't been able to finish those shots. As we see a great shot coming up by Dre, maybe a follow-up coming out. Days looking for a shot here as he's going to put this one on target, but it's going to be saved away by Juice Lo-Fi. But the third follow-up by Dre is going to go into the back of the net. And the Warhawks, once they broke through that midfield presence of the Blackhawks, they were just able to pummel shots on net until there was nobody left standing. And Warhawks are going to take a 4-1 lead, a 3-goal lead, very convincingly, may I add.
Yeah, they're looking really good right now. Able to add quite a few shots there, 11 towards the net so far from the Warhawks as they have a 4-1 lead, looking to tie this series up here as this one sent out into the corner. Blackhawks looking to try to find anything here at the end of this game, try to find some momentum. This one pushed across Parker. A nice touch off to the side as it's dropped down. Days gonna send this one out as Kosh looking to take control, but he's cut off in the midfield. Perky dropping this one down. Juice gonna take it over the top, gonna throw it on net there, catching out the defense. 22 seconds remaining. It'll be tough, but the Blackhawks do find one.
Yeah, this is a good shot, beating that last third man on Parker. Great speed to that play as well, understanding how fast he needs to play, putting a good shot on net just above that last defender as well. A much needed goal, especially if they want to win this game, but not only this game, looking forward to the rest of the series. Anytime you can break up the momentum of the other team and answer to a long scoring streak is always very beneficial, especially when you're starting to lack confidence in your offensive abilities. You're finally able to break through. You understand, hey, this is the kind of thing we need to do. We broke down their defense, and now we can use this momentum that we've generated into the next game and go into it a little bit more confidently.
Yeah, and they're gonna get the win here in game number two, tying things up, and they really just turned the tables there in that game number two. Ventus, the shots were exceptional there. Ended up with 12 total for the Warhawks, and they really did find their offensive rhythm in that game. And you could definitely see that they're a team that's going to come out and try to throw that offense at you.
Yeah, and a lot of it comes from they're able to acquire that first goal, and it was a great kickoff play as well. And whenever you have that first goal or that one goal lead kind of thing, you can play that super aggressive play style that worked out very well for them into taking that midfield presence from the Blackhawks. And it just having that early lead does so much in not only a single game, but in an entire series. I mean, Blackhawks were able to get game one, which was very beneficial to them. They're now looking to just play the long game. They have the ability to allow games to be dropped. But Warhawks coming out and getting this game was very big, and getting it convincingly, kind of figuring out how their offense needs to play is going to be very beneficial for them going forward.
Yeah, and they looked good in that game number two there. So well played to them. And it wasn't just Parker stepping up. We talk about this team being Parker and Days and Dre, who they just picked up. Try to fill in with Parker. Obviously, Parker, one of the best players in prospect this season, but really in that last game, Ventus, we saw Days with 2 goals. And Dre both stepping up on separate occasions, which, if the Warhawks are going to have success, in a long best of 7, postseason matchup, they need those other players to step up.
Yeah, definitely. And they definitely did so far. I mean, it's going to be really interesting because they haven't had a lot of these series together like the Blackhawks have this season. I mean, we see the Blackhawks had a pretty concrete roster, at least a good duo in Kosh and Perky. Juice Lo-Fi gonna get a nice goal there of a good. It looks like a dunk, and Parker just getting bumped in the backfield. Juice Lo-Fi just taking that one on his own, and I mean, a good play from him. But the Blackhawks have had more of a solidified roster where the Warhawks are still trying to figure things out. And if they can, it's going to be very dangerous for the rest of the teams in the playoffs because they already look this good and they haven't even hit their peak yet.
Yeah, and that last goal right there, this one gonna be bumped in by Parker. Days sends it up to him. A nice play there. Yeah, we saw the first goal there with a bump play. This one, Parker just menacing on the goal line. Gonna bounce it off his car and bounce it in. So 2 quick goals here to start off game number 3 from both these two teams. And the Warhawks gonna find a very quick answer there. As this one now down in the midfield, Dre gonna be 50'd out as this one popped up. Parker can't quite beat Perky to it. It's Juice looking to take control, but it's gonna be sent back into Blackhawks and Kosh trying to get up to this one. Gonna beat it by Dre, but Parker trying to send it back down. Dre can't find that touch. 50 gonna come across here as Days trying to get to that one. A nice stop down, but Kosh, he's all over this one, but he's gonna be bumped off that one. Great pressure there as Juice looking to take control. He sends it down right to Parker. Parker gonna take it up high. Gonna have to use a lot of boost to get up this one. Trying to stay with it there. Looking for a flip reset. Can't find it. As a big double commit comes out. Could be an opportunity for the Blackhawks. This one gonna be shot towards net. Dre, he's gonna get it off the post there. Day's gonna help him out as the Blackhawks try to dive through. A great save right there from the Warhawks as they have left the net inexplicably open, but they're not going to be punished for it quite yet. As this one off the backboard, demo comes through, shot comes through, it's floating right in front of the net, and Perky is going to put it in.
Yeah, and this is the bread and butter for the Blackhawks. They're just able to constantly pressure the net, putting shots above the crossbar for a follow-up, and putting just a bunch of shots on net. And they are able to just generate so much pressure from this when they are able to break that midfield presence that Warhawks had and had established, especially in game number 2. They didn't really have much of it after they scored, and so the Blackhawks just able to generate a lot of pressure. And with how fast they're able to play, they don't necessarily have the best control of their touches at some points, but just overall their speed, they're able to beat a lot of the Warhawks players to the ball. Their pace of play seems to be faster than the Warhawks, especially at the moment, and when you add that with a bunch of pressure, they're able to take the boost. It just exemplifies all of that speed and just creates a recipe for disaster for the Warhawks.
Yeah, and now the Blackhawks find themselves in the lead here in game number 3. Up 2-1 is Perky sending this one across. Dre is going to push it a long way. Juice going to make that touch, avoiding the demo. As Days dropping this one down. Parker trying to find that touch. It's going to bounce off of Days, though, as he tried to center it back mid. Dre sending it out in the middle. Parker trying to slide it through. It's going to ring off the post. Dre trying to turn it back around. He's going to keep the ball in the Blackhawks zone as Days up, looking for some sort of 50. Bakash going to try to take it slow. Going to find that one. This one popping out. Juice looking for a 50. He's going to find it, but the ball still stays in the Blackhawks end. It's by 1. Days racing, not a lot of boost there. Going to challenge Juice, who doesn't have boost. This one going to get pushed off to the side. Kosh taking this one up. Parker going off the ceiling. Going to find that touch and clear that one away. A big touch from him. It's Perky now trying to send it back. Big double miss comes through. This one is sent down. Dre is waiting, looking for the doink there. He's going to pop it up. Parker has a big opportunity. Can he place it? It's off the post. It's rolling, and Days is going to send it in and tie it up.
Yeah, that's a great play from. I think that was Dre there. A great touch beating that third defender, allowing Parker to get a free shot on net, and Days just able to follow that one up. But Dre had a great touch in the midfield, and the Warhawks really have a better midfield presence for the most part, and they have just been able to play a lot of possession game in the midfield, slowly break down the Blackhawks defense from the midfield line. They don't necessarily have to do anything too fancy where they're just pummeling shots on net like the Blackhawks do, but they're more sophisticated with their touches in the midfield, and they're able to just keep possession a lot better, and it creates these great chances where a touch like that can come out from Dre, and Dre putting another shot on net. A great touch by Dre just once again, and the Warhawks break through again in the midfield, beating that last defender and going up 3-2.
Yeah, that's a great pass down. Dre finding Days right for that touch there to place it in the bottom right. That's a great connection there from the Warhawks to find that one in the back of the net. And now find themselves in the lead after being down for most of this game number two. They find themselves up front with about a minute remaining. Dre gonna take this one off the side. A big 50 coming up high. Perky gonna find this touch. It's going off his own backboard though. A demo comes through and the shot finds the back of the net. Parker puts it home. The Warhawks are back and finding that offense.
Yeah, and this is just a pretty big mistake coming out from Perky. He's low on boost, but when you go up like that, you need to get a better touch. He leaves it perfectly backboard, and his teammate just getting chased for a demo. There's not much his teammate can do in that position. He's got to try to dodge the demo, but either way, he's got to defend net as well. So a good play coming out from Warhawks, and just once again breaking down the defense from the midfield, able to get some good touches to each other and keep the possession. And it really has been a game changer that they've been able to find each other with these passing plays. They have 3 assists to their 4 goals, so a lot of these are team plays coming out or passes in the midfield where they're able to end up putting it off the backboard and scoring pretty quickly. And it's been very beneficial to this Warhawks team.
Yeah, they've really looked great here in this game. Number 3 here, as now the final 20 seconds. The Blackhawks need something. This ball dangerous. Juice coming through, trying to slot it, but he can't quite find the angle on that one. Looked for the bump there, not going to find it, as Blackhawks in desperation mode, trying to find one with at least some time on the clock, but the ball is a long way from the Warhawks net here. As they're trying to send it down, looking for that one, it's denied away, and the Warhawks are going to come through here. Back-to-back great games, Ventus, from the Warhawks here, as they are going to go up 2-1 in the series.
Yeah, I mean, overall, the Warhawks seem like the better team at the moment. I think that the Blackhawks still have a lot in the tank. I am going to look towards Kosh, though, to step up. I feel like he's been a little bit lackluster, especially in the last 2 games. We saw him a good amount in game number 1, where he was able to help generate some of the offense. But it seems like he's kind of gotten shut down, and his touches haven't been that great in the midfield, and have kind of given some of the possession away to the Warhawks, and they have capitalized on that so efficiently where they've been able to just play very efficient in the midfield, keep the possession, and look for these passes and look for the passes off the backboard where there's lack of backboard defense from the Blackhawks, and it's just been really good overall. I think that the Warhawks have really come into their own, especially in the last 2 games, and it's going to be hard for the Blackhawks to recover.
Yeah, it will. And we have got our first instance here, Ventus. I was very curious if this was going to come through. We do have the timeout coming through from the Blackhawks. So trying to stop this momentum. And honestly, I kind of like this timeout. It was in my head, at the end of that last game with how much pressure the Warhawks had in games 2 and games 3. And now the Blackhawks are trying to stop the momentum right here and cut it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, you don't want to lose another game and have to stop a 3-game momentum streak for the Warhawks. You need to try to end it now, stop the bleeding. You need to talk more about what you need to fix as a team, especially. I know they do have Valence, who is a Titan player, helping, kind of doing a little bit of coaching and trying to get some extra understanding in between the players, how they need to change to kind of counter what the Warhawks are doing. So that might be kind of beneficial to them. And I'll look forward to seeing what they actually do decide to change. I think that they need to have a little bit more control in the midfield. I think their speed is very good, but sometimes it can lack the control. And so I think if they play a little bit more under control and a little bit slower pace, they're still going to outpace the Warhawks, but then they have a lot more options to go from there, where they can go for these solo plays or these flip resets that we see Kosh and Bricky come out with. and it makes the Blackhawks a lot more threatening of a team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can find some of that here as we are into game number 4. Reminder to everyone, this is best of 7 here, so you got to win 4 to move on. And right now, the Blackhawks, after using their tactical timeout here, are looking to start things off. Perky has an opportunity to open net, and they are going to strike first off the timeout, finding that first goal, just what they needed.
Yeah, and that's just a good touch in the midfield, understanding that there's a pass attempt trying to be made from Days, and just cutting it off early, getting the beat on a overcommitting third man. It was a very risky play overall, where they're going for an all very high risk, high reward, all in play. And when the Blackhawks are able to fend that one off, it leaves the counterattack completely open. They did very well there, and it gave them almost not a super free goal, but they didn't necessarily have to earn it that much. Just capitalize off of the mistakes that were made from the Warhawks, and they did so splendidly. A good way to open up game number 1, or
Yeah,
after the timeout.
yeah, the first game after the timeout. Yeah. That's what we're going for there. I agree. As it was a great first start there. But now if you're the Blackhawks, you got to follow through. You know, you get one timeout in these playoff matches here that you can use in between games to try to stop any momentum. But if you're the Blackhawks here, Ventus, I really want to see more come through from them. You know, you got the first goal, but you can't let the Warhawks stick around in this one, because if you lose this one after using your timeout, go down to match point, it's almost a death sentence.
Yeah, I mean, it's super hard to come back from. Anytime you're not close to closing the lead, a good shot coming out from Kosh, a good play. It looks like he capitalized on a slight misread from Dre, not able to get a touch there. And Kosh going to put it right past Parker to put it in the back of the net. And the Blackhawks seemingly not putting their foot off the gas just yet. But overall, I think that they just need to keep playing super aggressive. They need to not let Warhawks get any leeway. They need to force a bunch of mistakes, because when you try to come back from a multi-game deficit, it's just very difficult to. There's a number of things that can happen. Some unlucky pinches or goals can just occur out of nowhere. Some kickoff goals where you think you're playing better than the other team, but then these just outside factors come into play, and they can cause you to lose your run just because of that. And so getting back into the series now is very crucial.
Yeah, and a 2-goal lead. A good cushion here for the Blackhawks as they're looking to tie this series up. This one sent into the corner. Juice looking to take control, trying to find it down. Big 50 coming through as it's dropping. Warhawks not quite able to get to that one right away. Parker trying to get up. Can't find his touch, though, as this one dropping down towards the net. Perky sending it a long way. It might just be in the net, and they've caught out the Warhawks yet again there. A 3rd goal in the back of the net.
Yeah, and the Warhawks starting to be a little overzealous, a little bit panicky with their commits, especially with their third man pushing up like they are. They're allowing a bunch of these counterattacks, which we haven't seen the Warhawks give up in the first 3 games. It's something new where it seems like they're just trying to be over aggressive. They're not playing that midfield style play where they're just picking up the possession in the midfield. But as I say that, a good goal from Parker beating out the last defender on the Blackhawks, it's going to close the scoring a little bit, but my point still stands. A lot of the time, the Warhawks have been very aggressive in the Blackhawks' third, and it's allowed these counterattacks to happen where if they played a little bit further back in the midfield, allowed a little bit more space for them to make their challenges, they're much more threatening.
Yeah, and I think that one right there on the Blackhawks end, I don't think Juice saw Parker coming, and that's what he can do sometimes. This guy just kind of appears out of nowhere, right when you think you're all good, everything's clear, I can take a little dribble, here comes Parker, and he throws it in the back of the net right there. So Warhawks are very happy to find one back here as they're looking to find another one. Still a lot of time left in this game for them to bounce back. Dre getting up to this one. It's sent towards the net, and that one is going to be saved away. Perky and Kosh both dive for that one. Perky trying to get that one out, but it's going to be sent into the corner. Juice looking to take control. He's going to get it under one, going to send it down. Days pushing this one in the corner. Kosh sending it across. It's going to go to Perky, though. A nice touch, trying to send it down, looking for another one. Ball is still floating. Dre's trying to hover there, but Blackhawks can't quite get it down, but Warhawks a little bit starved on boost there on the back end. This one shot towards the net. Days gonna get the touch for now, but this one sent back in the midfield. Another dangerous ball, but that one not quite gonna find its way through as Kosh gonna look to take a turn. Gonna dodge one, gonna pop it over another. Here comes Perky, he's gonna put it in. What a play, and Perky's got a hat trick.
Yeah, I mean this is once again how the Blackhawks love to play. Constant cuts in the rotation in the opponent's third. They're able to just generate so much pressure, stealing the corner boost, and Perky putting a good shot on net. The Blackhawks respond very well coming off of the timeout. It looks like the timeout definitely paid off. They're able to come out very aggressive. They kept their speed, and then they were able to capitalize on the Warhawks' mistakes. And that's something that we need to see more of from the Blackhawks. We haven't seen necessarily a lot of mistakes coming out from the Warhawks, especially in the rotation. But as they become more panicked, being able to capitalize on those mistakes are very crucial for the Blackhawks to succeed. And Perky having a game for himself, a hat trick and 750 points, really showing out on both sides of the ball, defense and offense.
Yeah, just when his team needed him, he's able to step up there and give his team a 4-1 lead right now in this game number 4. As Blackhawks hoping to tie this series back up. This ball rolling down, a big miss comes through, and another shot. Perky, how about a 4-piece as he's going to send it home?
Yeah, I mean, just a good, once again, capitalizing on these mistakes. You see a mistouch or a misplay from Days and Parker. Both those guys not able to be able to read that ball correctly off of a awkward bounce off the corner and ceiling. And Perky able to be that first player to pick up that ball in the midfield. And once again, having himself an absolute crazy game. Much needed, especially coming out of a timeout. I'm still looking. Kosh did step up a little bit. He has those 2 assists. He has that goal. But now it seems like Juice Lo-Fi has seemed to be the one who's just stayed a little bit back more, and maybe that's what needs to be happening with the Blackhawks. Juice Lo-Fi kind of that super solid player. I mean, he's the number 2 rated player in the Prospect League for a reason, and he's number 1 in assists. So, I mean, I'm looking for him to be kind of a facilitator, and if that means him having to step back to that third man role and allow Perky and Kosh to step up with a crazy redirect coming out from Perky. Okay, Perky. I mean, have himself an 1,000-point game, 5 goals, 5 saves, 5 shots. Absolutely insane stat line.
Wow, Perky is having himself a game right there. 5 goals is crazy right here in this important game number 4, and a great shot right there to really put the dagger in to the Warhawks' efforts here, as this series is going to be all tied up at 2 apiece. Ventus, it has been back and forth, and now it's up to the Warhawks to try to find a response.
Yeah, and I think that I would potentially be debating using my timeout if I'm the Warhawks. Obviously, they were very outscored this game, but it wasn't necessarily too bad in the shots department. They had a lot of demos. They were able to generate some pressure, but it was a lot of those rotational mistakes that they need to clean up. So I wonder if they're going to call their timeout here, or if they're going to wait a little bit longer. If they lose this next one, they're going to be on match point. Blackhawks are going to be up 3-2 if they win game number 5. And I feel like the Warhawks should use their timeout. I want to stop the momentum that the Blackhawks obviously were able to generate from their own timeout. And I mean, when you're losing a scoreline 6-1, you got to start talking and communicating to polish these things up. They might be doing that and letting the match go the full length. But I think having a timeout just to talk it out a little bit more, talk through your rotations, talk about your third man especially, and their overcommits is more important now than ever. I think that not using a timeout here is a slight misplay.
Oh, they seem pretty confident here, Ventus, in their abilities, and they're going to try to bounce back. And I like the mental. I would have considered using it as well, but they believe that they've got the mental here to bring it back. But they're going to have to try to start out early here. If I'm the Warhawks, you got to try to bounce back. This is game number 5. The winner is going to put themselves on match point, 1 win away from appearing in the semis. As the big 50 comes through, Parker trying to send it towards net, and he is going to strike first. The Warhawks, they're bouncing back in game 5.
Yeah, and I mean, just a little bit of an overcommit from that third man. It looked like it was Perky on that one. Just a good 50 from Parker. Parker stepping up for the Warhawks again. And, I mean, just a good play, good counterattack. And this is the first time that Warhawks have really capitalized. But as I say that, a kickoff goal coming out. It looked like they were trying to do another kickoff strat where the player from the Warhawks was faking the kickoff. Oh, no, it just looks like a mistake, misflip on kickoff. And that is definitely tough for the Warhawks.
Yeah, they've had a couple of kickoffs that were a little suspicious thus far, and that one right there, no bigger mistake than that one, unfortunately, if you're a Warhawks fan, as this one coming through Days. He's not going to be able to find that touch, and the Warhawks aren't going to be able to throw that one in the back net as Daze is up looking for a bump. The ball dropping down as Perky is going to send it out. And now the Warhawks got to try to find their way to get some momentum back after that one. And now it's a 2-on-1 opportunity. Kosh, last man back. Dre sending it off the backboard, looking for another touch. He's dropping it down. Parker, he's coming through now, trying to fire it, but that one going to be just a little bit high. And Perky is going to take his time, but the ball still floating around. Dre trying to get up to it. He can't, though, as this one cleared out by Juice. It's going towards the midfield. Perky going to fire that one off the backboard, but not quite going to get that one on target there, as close attempts Ventus on both sides right there.
Yeah, and it looks like that Blackhawks should have taken more time in their counterattack. They had the possession. There was only one man back with no boost, and he was getting bumped, and he had to retreat all the way back to the back. While I feel like the Blackhawks should have slowed the play down there, taken the actual possession, but it allowed Warhawks, with the Blackhawks speeding up the pace of play, it allowed them to easily recover, and already were able to put the Blackhawks back on their own third, having to defend 2 shots of their own.
This one is going to be popped up. Almost another opportunity. Daze in the midfield. A little bit awkward there. He's going to force a double commit there as Kosh is up, dropping this one down. Perky, he's trying to look for something there on the bump, but can't find a. Daze taking control. But Juice right down to Dre. 50 coming out here. Kosh trying to reach to it. He's going to get a touch, but Parker is going to bang it off the sidewall as this one's up. Perky able to send it into the corner here. Dre looking to take control. 50 comes through. Kosh taking it over the top. The ball pops out. Daze, a great touch. Able to find that clear and send it a long way. As Daze again, he's dropping it down, looking for a teammate, but Perky is there, able to make that touch. As Dre trying to find this one. Doesn't have a lot of boost there. The ball is still in the midfield. Juice is just trying to find a 50. The ball is still up. Here comes Parker looking for it, but Perky is going to block that one off to the side. As Warhawks still trying to keep it in. Here comes Parker off the sidewall, but Kosh, he's on top of that one. Able to find that block. As again, Dre and the Warhawks trying to take it up. Dre to the ceiling. He's got a flip to work with. He's throwing it to the backboard. He's going to find the 50. It's dropping down. Oh, Juice Lo-Fi on the goal line. Oh my goodness, but just that one almost found the back of the net.
Wow, I'm so amazed that the Blackhawks were able to hold on against that onslaught from the Warhawks. And they might have a chance here as Juice Lo-Fi not being able to put that one on target as it was saved away. Kosh having a shot of his own. And now the Blackhawks are taking that offensive approach. Juice Lo-Fi, another shot on net, forcing a double commit, getting a bump of his own. Kosh picking this one up in the midfield at 50 back to Perky. And now the Blackhawks have started to show that aggression. But once again, the Warhawks keeping that midfield presence as this shot might be on target. A crazy save coming out. Perky saved. Kosh able to get the follow-up. It looked like he was able to 50 it with the next Warhawks attacker. And both teams just barely holding on.
I can't believe that, Ventus. That ball was halfway down and in, and somehow it didn't find the back of the net, and we stay tied at 1. Both these teams trying to fight to get to that championship point. The Blackhawks defense, it held on there, but can they hold on much longer? A minute remaining now. The Warhawks still on the attack. The ball is popped up. Here comes Parker off the backboard. Opportunity here for the Warhawks. Daze is going to shoot it, and Parker is going to send it in. The Warhawks, they strike through.
And I mean, just overall super great offense from the Warhawks. They are able to just continuously. They looked very much like the Blackhawks do when they're on the offensive side of the ball, where they're just suffocating in the third, stealing the boost, getting the bumps, and I mean just domination in their opponent's half. Just forcing a bunch of these errors, forcing these low boost plays, and it forced Kosh into a team bump against Perky. And that was the big thing, was Perky wasn't able to recover, and Kosh wasn't able to recover with the change in momentum. They weren't able to get across the net for the save. And, I mean, the Warhawks, a great play.
Yeah, it was great. And now the final 30 seconds here, the Blackhawks need to find something to try to force overtime. The ball's popped up at Parker. He's just going to send it a long way. Dre is up looking for something off the backboard, trying to find the read. Oh, my goodness, Dre.
That's a great shot. I mean, a good pass from Parker. Dre, a great first touch. I mean, absolutely beautiful. And then the angle as well, just putting it right down into the Blackhawks net. I think that is definitely the dagger for the Warhawks to win this game. But as I say that, a messed up kickoff once again from the Warhawks. The Blackhawks just stepped right back into this game. 1 goal difference now. It looks like another kickoff mistake. And I don't even know what happened.
Yeah, that was crazy. And now all of a sudden, a big shift in momentum. The Blackhawks suddenly, with 14 seconds left, have an opportunity if they can find one in the back of the net here. The ball is going to be popped up though, heading back towards their end. Gonna need to take it a long way. Parker trying to find it. The 50 comes through. Juice trying to take it out. Gonna send it up high. Kosh, he's sending it down towards the net. Oh my goodness, Kosh! He snipes it in. What a miracle!
With 0 seconds left, Kosh is able to find the back of the net just past Dre and the last defender. What speed on that shot. Perfectly placed just past the defender, not hitting the ground. We're going to overtime.
Oh my goodness, Ventus. This has been one of the craziest games yet, and the postseason is just getting started here. Parker, he's trying to end it back and bounce back, but the Warhawks, after being up now, find themselves in an overtime they never should have been in. Is this one sent down, Parker? Gonna be blocked by Juice. Perky looking to send this one in. He's gonna pop it up high. And Days looking to take control, able to send it out now. The Warhawks trying to recover. Days sending it back down. Dre up here for the shot there, but Kosh, he's all over that one. Able to send it off to the side as Kosh now sending it out. Blackhawks trying to find the attack here. Juice into the corner. Dre, he's gonna find that 50. Looking to send this one towards the net. Looking for the bump there. Ball's floating down to Perky. He's gonna send it down. Trying to beat out Parker here. On the 50, he's going to find a demo instead. Kosh is there. This ball is popped up. Here comes the shot, and the Blackhawks are going to absolutely get away with a heist.
Oh my word, I can't believe that they were able to swing the momentum that much. The Warhawks, absolute disaster. They messed up their kickoff, allowing the Blackhawks a foot in the door, and they kicked the entire door down. They forced overtime with 10 seconds, well, with 0 seconds remaining, but with only 10 seconds originally after the kickoff. And, I mean, they take it in overtime, an absolute crazy game to win, and now Blackhawks are on match point. Warhawks definitely going to have to use their timeout now. Honestly, I don't even know if they do. I think that the Warhawks played really, really solid. Both teams looked really good. I mean, the Warhawks had so much pressure throughout the game. They were able to suffocate the Blackhawks for most of the game. But then the Blackhawks just came back swinging at the very end. So I really have no clue how game number 6 is going to go.
Yeah, I mean, they might not have to use it. I mean, it's very debatable here, Ventus, because yeah, what they did was they just gave it up right there, you know. And I think if you're the Warhawks here, you know, hey, you know, we gave that one away. We were playing good. We were playing well enough to win, but we just gave it away. And perhaps try not to dwell on it much longer here, as they are going to send it in to game number 6, Forbidden Temple, Ventus, and the Warhawks, they gotta find a way to bounce back here and force the game 7.
Yeah, I mean, with so many crazy things happening already, I can't even imagine what Forbidden Temple is going to bring us. It seems like it's going to bring us a lot of demos already. But, I mean, this is a do-or-die game for the Warhawks. The Blackhawks want to shut the door here and now and beat the Warhawks in game number 6. I mean, it's going to be a very close game. It's going to be tooth and nail.
As this one can be just saved away by Kosh, and the Blackhawks looking to advance to the semifinals if they can find this win. The Warhawks looking to send us to game number 7. Dre is up there trying to send this one towards the net, but Perky is going to save it away. And the Warhawks desperately need this first goal right here to try to get some momentum back after giving up 3 straight goals to end the last game. This ball is popped up in midfield. It's blocked down. Parker trying to find the 50, but Perky's all over him. It's going to go off the post and go in. Another big Warhawks mistake.
Yeah, continuing the momentum that the Blackhawks built off of the very end of last game. Perky, a very risky commit as that third man, but it's going to work out in their favor. With them coming out full aggressive mode, they have been able to take the first goal of the game. And, I mean, a lot of the times the first goal can be a decider, but this shot's on target. Kosh having to make a save is going to be able to do so. And, I mean, very big turn of events as it looks like Days actually got it past Juicy and is going to tie up the scoring. I thought that the Blackhawks were going to be able to hold on to this lead a little bit better, but Days clawing his way back into it, saying the Warhawks aren't out yet. Even though we just dropped the game and this goal off of a couple of mistakes, we're not letting that scare us any bit. Our mental is fine. We've fully recovered.
Yeah, they're able to put that one back in. As this one looking for a flip reset, gonna pop it high off the backboard. Opportunity for Parker. He's gonna put it in. What a pass by Dre and a great finish by Parker.
Yeah, I mean they already came out swinging once again. It looks like Juice Lo-Fi a little bit overzealous on his pre-jump. His force wasn't very good. It allowed Dre too many options. Usually at that position, you want to force the first man onto the backboard to allow an easier time and an easier read, especially one where you have to get out the flip reset early. When you allow that player to get a flip reset and be able to keep it and fake low, you allow them so many options of a scoop, of a fake, and Dre capitalized perfectly. Parker, a great shot, and the Warhawks going up 2-1, very crucial for them.
Yeah, they're able to find that one in the back of the net, and now they have a lead. But as we saw in the last game, no lead is safe right here in the Prospect League playoffs. Juice, he's taking it low, and the pre-jump was not successful. Juice snipes the bottom middle.
Yeah, that's a big mistake from Dre. I mean, he had enough boost to cover all of the net if it was high. He's got to let his teammates get it off of it if it comes off the backboard. But able to just put that one on the bottom of the net, there wasn't really much of a contest there. Obviously, he pre-jumped and there wasn't anybody of his team to follow that one up. But this one might just fall in the back of the net. It looks like Dre gonna make up for that previous mistake, gonna score this tight angle to regain the lead for the Warhawks.
Yeah, and Dre is really the one putting on these goals right here. We expected a lot from Parker, but Dre has found some crazy angles in the last two games, and a great one there. The Warhawks are back out in front, but what is happening here on the Warhawks end? These kickoffs, Ventus, that was another one that they messed up there. It almost allowed another shot, but instead it's going to allow the pressure here. Here comes Kosh trying to fire it into Parker, just barely able to get up to it. And Ventus, I mean, we've talked about it this series, but it is a big problem right here for the Warhawks.
It looks like Daze is actually AFK. I don't know if he's disconnecting or what, but this might prove very crucial to the Warhawks' downfall. It looks like there is an issue somewhat. I don't know what exactly is happening, but I'm not sure what we can do about it. We are going to pause. We're gonna try to let Days reconnect into the game. That's disastrous, though. I don't know if are we giving the 1 goal lead back to the Warhawks.
No, Ventus, the goal will stand at the time of the DC. So the goal is going to stand. It's going to be tied 3-3, but we will wait for the reconnect. Fortunately, with the new match admin, we can reset it here on the kickoff coming up. Warhawks will have 5 minutes to bring Days back into the game. But yeah, that's a tough timing for that one right there.
Yeah, I mean, especially when they had the lead, they were able to hold on. If they just held on a couple of seconds longer when Days got the disconnect and left the actual game, if they hold on for 2 or 3 more seconds, we would have been able to keep they would have been able to keep the lead, but no avail. Unfortunately, it is going to be a tie game if Days returns. I'm not sure. You never know what's going to happen with a 5 minute window. The power could be off, the internet could go out. It's going to be very crucial to the Warhawks and very unfortunate. I mean, with how crazy this series has been, for the Warhawks to lose in a 2v3 fashion off of a disconnect, it's going to be absolutely disastrous. But I mean, overall, I think that the Blackhawks are still playing really solid. I think that they have a lot going for them. They're able to generate a lot of momentum. Obviously, they're going to be able to get this momentum off the goal that they're able to score. But I mean, you just got to feel for the Warhawks.
Yeah, that's a tough time to find a disconnect right there and kind of kill any momentum that they had right at that moment. So now we wait to see if Days can join back here. Otherwise, the Warhawks will have to continue on and try to see what they can do here. But Juventus, I mean, a 3-3 game here, 2.5 minutes, left in this game. The Warhawks are still not out of this one. They just need to find a way to get their momentum back and find one in the back of the net.
Yeah, they really gotta fix their kickoffs. I think that they're
Yeah.
trying to do some kickoff strats. They have not worked out very well for them. I mean, when you see the pros or high level players do they are all on the same page. They've practiced them a lot. I'm not sure how well practiced that these kickoffs are from the Warhawks, but they don't seem that they're all on the same page. There seems to be a lot of mistakes. It did work out for them once. They were able to gain the lead off the kickoff in game number 2, but it seems like they've gone 1 for 4, 1 for 5 in these kickoff strats, and they've just allowed a lot of pressure, and I think they've given up 2 or 3 goals just from kickoffs alone.
Yeah, I feel like Ventus, from what I've been watching, I feel like only one of them was really a strat, the one they scored on, and the rest of them seem to be mistakes on the Warhawks end. I mean, maybe they were trying to let the ball come back that way, but they've given the Blackhawks a lot of pressure on those kickoffs, and in the middle of this game 6 here, it's gonna come back to a kickoff here, and with what we've seen from them, the kickoffs haven't been the strong suit. So we'll see what they're able to do, but we are just waiting for a reconnect on the Warhawks here and the tech pause in the middle of game 6 here. The Blackhawks tying things up and one win away from ending the series and moving on to the semifinals. So obviously a big one here for the Warhawks. But I mean, if you're the Blackhawks here, Ventus, what are you thinking in the middle of this pause after finally getting a goal and tying things up?
I'm just thinking, don't let up the pressure. We just got to keep going. Come out very aggressive, catch them off guard. If this, if there's another disconnect where they disconnect again, um, we need to capitalize off of it. We need to make sure that we are playing as fast and as aggressive as we can while their team is all sorts of discombobulated. Because I mean, the comms got to be a little bit off now, coming back from a disconnect. The play style, I'm not sure if they'll play a little bit more passive because they're not sure if there's going to be another disconnect. But I mean, these are all things that the Warhawks are going to have to play a lot safer because they don't want anything to happen. And I think that the Blackhawks just need to play very aggressive and kind of lean into that. Make them stress, make them look very awkward, and really just take advantage of the discombobulation from the Warhawks team.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see if they're able to do so as we're now under a minute remaining for Days to reconnect. If not, we are going to continue on 2v3. He can still join back throughout the rest of this game if he's able to, but otherwise the Warhawks are going to have to fight an uphill battle, even further uphill, as they hope the Days can reconnect here in time. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting end to this one. Warhawks desperately needing him to reconnect, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting here in this game number 6. Reminders tied at 3-3. Tech pause here. We're gonna continue on from that point, but yeah, really the this Ventus with this pause here, obviously different from previous Nemesis seasons, but you're in the middle of the game here, and this pause has definitely gotta do something to both teams' mentals.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to hurt the Warhawks, especially because they let up that 1 goal and it, tied the game. But if they're able to come back from this, if they're able to, let's say, Days isn't able to come back in time and he has to rejoin part way through the match. If they're able to come back from that and steal the game away from the Blackhawks, I think that they got it in the bag because the toll that is going to be on the Blackhawks to need to win this game is going to be crucial because it looks like we are starting in a 2v3. Blackhawks are going to have to take advantage. Warhawks just got to hold on, pray the third man can come back. Maybe they get a cheeky little 1v3 and are able to score a goal, but I'm really looking for the Blackhawks to come out swinging and just play super aggressive.
Yeah, and the Warhawks gotta see if they can survive a little bit longer. Hopefully, Days can reconnect, but they had their opportunity there. We had the pause, gave them an opportunity to head back, but now the Warhawks find themselves 3-3 in this game number 6. A shot attempt is going to ring off the post. Parker's trying to get up to it. He's going to find the touch here. And Ventus, we've actually casted some 2v3s before, and they can be a little bit dangerous as Parker. He's trying to find the read there, but he can't quite put it on. And, we've seen that before. I think, actually, Ventus, if I stand correctly, it was the Blackhawks that struggled in that 2v3 that we saw.
Yeah, I think it was against the Vipers. The Vipers played very
Yes.
good in a 2v3. It seems like in 2v3s, especially, a lot of these in Prospect League and Challenger League are better at 2s than they are at 3s. They don't have to worry about being starved as much. They can just hunker down on the boost, play good defense, look for these counterattacks and solo plays, and it works out very well. And the Blackhawks have had struggled against the Vipers doing it in their 2v3, but it looks like they might get a shot here. No, they aren't. Parker was able to get back to that one, and I mean it's
Wait.
very very tough.
Oh!
That one was almost in. The Blackhawks might just be very struggling against a 2v3.
Yeah, I mean, it was the Vipers that they struggled in that 2v3 against on stream. They ended up winning, but it got to about a 3-minute overtime before they finally put a goal in. And this one, it's dropping towards the net. Oh my goodness, Dre. He puts it in, and the Warhawks in a 2v3 find the lead.
I don't even know how this should be possible. I mean, it looks like just backflipping off the backboard, not able to get that one. And it looked like the Blackhawks were low on boost. They were kind of boost starved from the Warhawks pressure, which is something you do not see in a 2v3. I mean, I think that the Blackhawks just really need to go on the demo offensive, take out the players, steal the boost, play super aggressive. They do get it back here. Luckily, the concession of the goal wasn't very much as they were able to get a quick one here. But now we're back to 55 seconds. I mean, if the Warhawks are able to join back now, I mean, it's still a good game.
Yeah, and that's crazy there. Perky is going to put that one in the back of the net. And the Warhawks, the toughest part here might be surviving these kickoffs and trying to make something happen. But 50 seconds remaining. This ball dropping down. A little bit of a double commit comes through, but the Warhawks, they're trying to play aggressive, trying to hold this pace here. Parker, he's looking for any pads here. Kosh, gonna try to take it slow, gonna find that boost, looking to take it up, looking to take it under. The ball is popping up high. Perky, he just gotta put it towards net. Parker is gonna find a touch. Here comes Juice. He's gonna take it high, but Parker, a defensive mastermind, is gonna save those ones away here. As now the final 30 seconds here of regulation. Dre sending it down. Kosh, he's going to find the touch. The ball into the corner. A demo attempt comes through with Parker. He's going to dodge it. This one off the wall, trying to take it in the midfield. But it's going to be sent over to the side. The Blackhawks, last opportunity. This one going towards the net. Dre's going to make a nice touch. Able to get that one off target. And now final 10 seconds here. The Warhawks, can they survive to overtime? This one sent down towards the net. Kosh, he's going to make a touch. He's sending in the corner. The Warhawks trying to play safe there. And overtime comes through here in the 2v3 game 6 with their lives on the line here for the Warhawks. And the Warhawks, Ventus, they have survived well. And now it's just one goal. If they can find one in the back of the net, they can send us to game 7.
Yeah, I mean, crazy things happen in Forbidden Temple for a reason. I mean, very intense back and forth. I really think the Blackhawks need to capitalize more on these demos and boost starve. If they can force these double commits out of the Warhawks with low boost, it should be a quick and easy goal, as a shot attempt might come out there, but the Blackhawks playing very passive. They're not wanting to send 2 players at a time on the attack, and they're just okay with playing this possession game and just continuing to put shots on net until eventually they get one through. But it's very dangerous. If Warhawks are able to break out and get a shot of their own, as I say that, unfortunately, Blackhawks are going to find the back of the net. I was really rooting for the 2v3 there. Perky, a good touch past one. Parker trying to respect his second touch, not going to be able to do it. And Juice Lo-Fi going to put that one in the back of the net. And unfortunately for the Warhawks, they are going to lose in overtime of game 6. An unlucky way to end the season for sure.
Yeah, a tough end there. Unfortunately, couldn't get their third back into the game, and that is unfortunately how it's going to end right there. The Blackhawks are going to take the win here. They are going to move on to the semis, but I mean that series still Ventus, despite it ending in Game 6 OT. I mean that was a crazy first series to start the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I don't want to say my prediction was correct, but I think I hit the nail right on the head there. I predicted a lot of overtimes. I believe there were 3, and then I predicted the Blackhawks to win in Game 6. So, I mean, I thought I did a pretty great job.
Yeah, no, I think you're on target there, and yeah, it was definitely some great content. Congratulations to the Blackhawks. Blackhawks, they'll be moving on to the semifinals. But we got to keep things rolling. I got to give a couple quick shout outs to Jack Soy coming back for 38 months and Crimson dropping some bits in the chat. Again, congratulations to the Blackhawks, but we are going to have to head to a break. When we come back, we got more playoff action and some more best of sevens coming your way. We're going to be moving to the Challenger League, where Hellcats are taking on Griffins. Another great match to be had here. So make sure you guys stick around, and we will see you guys in a few.